Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ghoul Power Chill Hour, a series where we play chill games to relax and or study to. I'm here, Noelle is here, it's a rainy September afternoon, and we're just gonna forget about everything and play some chill as heck games. As you can see, today it's a blast from the past. I'm playing Viva Piñata, one of the launch titles for the Xbox 360. I got this game about 10 years ago, along with my original Xbox 360, which now has gone to Microsoft heaven. And I wouldn't say I was obsessed with it, but for some reason lately I have been craving playing this good, wholesome game. To the point where, like, my Xbox 360 wasn't even plugged in, I dusted it off, I found the game, got everything connected, went to switch on the console. By the way, my console is actually, it's like on the verge of death. So I'm recording this audio afterwards because whenever I turn my Xbox 360 on, it literally sounds like I'm running a vacuum cleaner around. It's so loud. And the disc tray doesn't open, but every so often it randomly tries to open and cuts off the game. Thankfully, Viva Piñata has a very robust autosave feature, so I didn't lose any footage during this recording. But I was playing it just for fun a couple of days ago, and it was like, oh, wait, you want to open the disc tray? I was like, no! But yeah. So, I also found, when I went to play this game for the first time, that all of my Xbox 360 controllers don't work anymore. They're all kind of like rusty and disgusting now, like full of battery gunk and stuff. So I tried to plug in the controller that I use for PC gaming, which is like one of those Xbox kind of non-official game controllers, and it turns out that one only works for Xbox One. So I was like, oh no, I had to go into game. And thankfully they still sell Xbox 360 controllers in there, and I took it out to the counter and the guy was like, you know, this is for the really old console, right? And I was like, yeah, I just really wanted to play Viva Piñata. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. I wish I'd like said I really wanted to play like a cooler game. But no, I just told it like it is, so yeah. Anyway, those of you who remember Viva Piñata know that when you start a new garden, it's like this like barren wasteland and all the ground is all cracked and disgusting. So I bypassed that. I spent about 20 minutes before I started this recording, like, using the spade to like pat down the ground all nice. I covered it in grass so that you didn't have to. It literally took 20 minutes, so kind of seemed like spending 20 minutes of this video doing that was not the most productive use of my time. So I started it already all lush and green, and I kind of wanted to do a themed garden. So I decided to go with one, maybe it's not the most original, but I wanted to have all of the piñatas be all of the aquatic piñatas. So we're gonna have a garden with a lot of water, because I want to get all of them good crackberries, the newtgats, the lickertoads, who are my favourite piñatas. And then eventually I want to get the chippopotamus, but the chippopotamus has really high resident requirements. You need to have a garden that is 60% water, which is just ridiculous. Like, it's really hard. So that is like a long-term end goal, I guess, and some stuff's gonna have to go. But for now, most of the other stuff only needs the garden to be 20% water at most. So we're gonna see how much we can get done. And I really wanted there to be kind of like a lot of water, but with like a centerpiece, which is why, as you can see, I've planted this big oak tree in the middle, because I just thought it would kind of look nice, like the big Deku tree or something like that. as you can see, even though my garden is still essentially empty, I already have some super chill piñatas who've just come along anyway. I guess they have really low expectations. I have like 2 or 3 sparrow mints and a couple of whirlings. They're just kind of chilling out, just sleeping outside, I guess. But you know, whatever floats their boat. One of the things I really enjoy about this game is that even though there's a day and night cycle, there's no real pressure to do things during those particular days and nights. The only thing that seems to impact is which piñatas show up, so you have some that are nocturnal and some that only come out during the day. And it's just nice because a lot of games that kind of have some sort of passage of time, it often feels like you're always running out of time. Whereas in Viva Piñata, there's no pressure to do something in a certain amount of time. So I know that I can kind of spend a couple of days digging this big moat or something like that, and I'm not doing something like in Stardew Valley, for example, which I've been streaming on Sundays, and I'm really enjoying it, and thank you so much to everyone who's been tuning in. But because the passage of time feels so constant, there's often that pressure to achieve a lot in one day, and when I've not done that, I always feel like I've kind of wasted my time a little bit. So it's nice to come to Viva Piñata and just be like, I've got all the time in the world, it's fine, everything's chill.
Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it, don't wait for it, just let it happen. It could be a new shirt at the men's store, a cat nap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee. Like this.
A present. Like Christmas.
Oh, man, that is the spot. Nothing like a great cup of black coffee.
There, that seems to be a good amount of water to get some aquatic piñatas interested in visiting the garden. The reason I'm planting this corn is because quackberries, which are a bird type of piñata, will only visit if you have at least 4% water in your garden and corn, which is a really weird requirement. But once it's grown, hopefully they'll start showing up. And then to get them to stay, your garden needs to be at least 4% water, and then you also need to have fed them a loaf of bread, which I will get shortly once some have started appearing. I'm also planting these watercress seeds because watercress is one of the requirements to get a different piñata called a newt cat to visit your garden. They need to eat 3 watercress in order to become residents. There's a quackberry. I also noticed a liquor toad, which is one of my favourite types of piñatas, but in order to get one of those to stick around, they need to have eaten 1 taff fly, which is a type of insect piñata that only sticks around if you have flowers in your garden, which currently I don't, so I need to fix that. Hey, looks like the corn grew. So now I guess I need to buy some bread so that the quackberry will stick around. Here we go. Oh jeez. I don't want that guy to stick around. So there's certain types of piñatas in the game that are kind of bad guys until you eventually get their like totem, which causes them to kind of steer clear of your garden. And that's one of them. I haven't got the totem for that one yet because I'm kind of hoping that I can get it to become a resident and be a nice piñata, but for now what you have to do is whack them with a spade until they go away. I know that if I want to get a chippopotamus, I'm going to have to be really, really picky about which piñatas get houses, because with 60% water there's not a lot to spread around for all of the other piñatas' homes. But I really want to have a crackberry house, firstly because it's quite cute. It's quite a cute design, but secondly because in order to attract a crocodile, which is a crocodile type piñata, you need to have 6 quackberries in your garden, so it makes sense for me to build a house for them. So they get a free pass. Now also seems like a good time to buy a bunch of flower seeds and plant them, not just to attract those tafflies that I mentioned that will eventually attract the licker toads, but also just to make the place look pretty. Planting these flowers aren't just to attract new piñatas to the garden, but also to help out piñatas that are currently residents. So, for example, if I instruct a sparrowmint to eat a buttercup, it will turn into a different piñata altogether. It will turn into a canary. Looks like the crackberry home's all finished. Look, it's a little pirate ship. Isn't that super cute? I think it's the best. I know I don't have enough water in my garden yet, so I'm going to extend the pond around the crackberry home like a moat in order to try and drive up the percentage of the garden that's covered in water. Water lilies are similar to watercress in this game, and then they kind of hang over the water, but they attract a different type of piñata. They are used for attracting sweet tooths, which are like a beaver type of piñata, and also they're one of the things that the hippopotamus needs to eat to become a resident of your garden. So they're pretty important if you want to have a proper aquatic garden. Looks like one of those tafflies I mentioned is visiting. Some piñatas actually like being covered in water from the watering can, so this isn't me being a jerk, that's me trying to cheer the crackberry up because he looked a little bit under the weather. Oh, buzzle gums, they're one of my favourite types of piñatas. They make really cute little buzzing sounds and they look really, really sweet. I like them a lot. And looks like the taffly came and became a resident as well, so hopefully we'll get some liquor toads showing up soon. Hey, there's the newt guy I was talking about earlier. They need to eat 3 watercress to become residents, so they're probably going to do a big heckin' destroy of some of my plants around about now. Looks like our garden is currently 19% water. So not quite enough to attract some of the aquatic piñatas, such as the chippopotamus and the swanana. So I'm going to try and see if I can add a bit more water around here. Hey, a dragonfly. I actually don't know what they need. Oh, so they need 20% of water as well before they become a resident. So that makes even more sense that I should start digging more of this moat, I guess.
That means you're extra.
look at this flat bread. I think one of the quackberries must have trod on it at some point and it just glitched out like that, I guess. Like most games, I hate how it looks at night in Viva Piñata, so I'm buying more of these firebrands to light up the garden. But also, firebrands attract certain different types of piñatas, like the moth drops, which I think one of them became a resident earlier because I'd already placed some firebrands. Viewers, can you believe it's already September? I hope that everything's going well for you, and if you're a school person or a university person, I hope that your first few days back have gone really well. I don't start the new semester for a couple of weeks yet, which is good because I feel like I have so much to prepare for still. I'm teaching again, but also, as I've mentioned before, it's the last year of my PhD, so I'm going to be so busy. But also, I have a few nice things lined up in the next few weeks, which I'm really looking forward to. The big one is I'm going to be at EGX, which is the biggest gaming expo in Europe, and it's held at the NEC in Birmingham. I'm going to go there for Saturday and Sunday, and I'm super hyped. It's always really, really good every year. I've been, I can't remember for how many years I've been now, but the first one I went to was when they previously held it in London at a place called Earl's Court, but that's now been demolished, and that's when they moved to the NEC after that. It's always just such a really nice time, and like just a really good chill atmosphere, which is nice and kind of rare in like gaming spaces sometimes. Sometimes they can feel a little bit ostracizing, but EGX has never felt like that for me. It's always been really nice. So I'm really excited for that. That's actually the weekend before the semester starts, so I'm gonna get back on Sunday night, and then like first thing Monday morning I have to go to a lecture, so it's gonna be a bit of a slap in the face perhaps to have done something so cool and chill and then immediately be like, oh yeah, no, now you have to work. But I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be really nice. So the resident requirements to get a sweet tooth into the garden are that it needs to have eaten 3 fir cones and 2 water lily flowers. Obviously I already have water lilies growing, but I don't have any fir trees, so that's why I'm planting a couple right now. I think these guys are so cute. They look like big old jelly beans. Oh, an E-glare. I don't think I'm going to be able to get one of those on this playthrough, but on my other game, I'm specifically making a bird piñata garden, and that is like my final goal, but you have to go through so many hoops in order to let that happen. You have to kind of get one bird, but that's only attracted to the garden when you have a certain other type of bird there, and that you need to like feed it something so it evolves from another bird, and it's just so hugely complex and such a chore that I haven't actually managed to do it yet. Hey! Hey, look at this jerk! This jerk's ruining my space! Man. So I think you can bribe these guys into not coming into your garden, but I don't really remember like how much you need to spend. Plus also like, I feel like that's just encouraging them. So I just kind of follow them around, destroy any of their like disgusting sweets that they leave. Because if any of the piñatas eat those sweets, they get sick, and then you have to call a doctor. And then try and like clean up any of the mess that they've made. I also just noticed that apparently we have a Swanana visiting, and I wasn't actually expecting that we'd get one of those because they're kind of picky. You need to have 20% water, which our garden currently just about has, but also your garden needs to be worth at least 20,000 chocolate coins. And I actually have no way of knowing how to check that because, well, I don't know how to do it. I'm sure there's probably somewhere in there that tells you, but I haven't found it yet. It seems like ours is worth that much, and we've got some visiting. But in order for them to be a resident, the garden needs to be 25% water, and they need to have eaten 2 sandwiches. So I haven't got that sorted yet. But maybe we can extend this out a bit, because I don't think our garden is currently 25% water.
Working on like production, really help, you know what I'm saying? That's from the time our last album, that's what we've been doing on this time period, working on our beats, production, working on our
So you can't actually buy a sandwich straight from Costa-Lot's shop. You have to buy the bread and then get this wizard guy. I've forgotten his name, but you have to get this wizard to transform the bread into a sandwich for you. So it's a little bit convoluted. This guy here, Bart's Exchange, you have to get him to change the bread into a sandwich. So while we're browsing Costalot's store, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's watched so far, and thank you if you've been following the Ghoul Power Chill Hour since the beginning. I really appreciate it. If you are a fan, or you haven't watched before but you've enjoyed this video so far, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I release videos theoretically every Monday, although I realise that this episode is late and I'm sorry for that. But it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed, and if you think there are other people who'd be interested in this kind of like, you know, bad gaming but with wholesome commentary and cool music, please share and let folks know. I would super appreciate that. Thank you very much. Remember as well, you can also find me on Twitter and on Twitch. Looks like our garden is 24% water, so we're still 1% away from having enough water that Swanana will want to stay. So before I dusted off my copy of this game and like got my Xbox 360 all hooked back up, I did look into trying to get this game working for Windows, because I know they made a Windows version and I assumed it would be easier than getting my rickety old console back up and running, but turns out it's really not. I really thought it would have been available somewhere digitally, but it's not. The internet is full of like Yahoo Answers and like forum posts where people are like, how do I get Viva Piñata working for Windows 10? And apparently you have to like go through some old Windows game program that doesn't actually exist anymore, so you have to download a copy off like some dodgy third-party website. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. But like, I'm kind of surprised that it's not available for Windows anywhere. I think maybe you can get it on Xbox One, but I don't have that. And I thought maybe I could get it with the Xbox Game Pass, which is what I use to play Sea of Thieves, but it's not there. So Microsoft or Rare, can you make it more easily available, please? That would be super great. Just like dig into your back catalogue. In fact, why don't you make a sequel? Rare, I know you guys are busy with Sea of Thieves, but I mean, surely it's time. The world needs another Viva Piñata around about now, for real. Please, just consider it. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, just see what happens. 2020, that's all I'm saying. Man, this sweet tooth is completely annihilating all of my watercress and water lilies. We don't even have fir cones growing from our fir tree yet, so we can't even have it actually become a resident. It's just annihilating everything else though. Well, we're kind of nearing the end of our Ghoul Power Chill Hour. Sadly, we didn't get some of the piñatas that I was hoping we would. I knew that getting a chippopotamus would be a bit of a stretch to do in an hour, but I was hoping we'd at least see a crocodile. But you need to, like I said, have 6 crackberries in your garden to do that, and currently we only have 2 or 3, which is why I planted all of those bluebells, because they're a romance requirement for crackberries. So hopefully in the future we can get the population up and that will draw the crocodiles out. I really hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of the Ghoul Power Chill Hour. If you have, please make sure to subscribe so that you can get updates for when I next put out videos. Theoretically, like I said, it's every Monday. Also, please be sure to share with your friends, retweet and stuff like that. That would be really nice. You can also find me on Twitch. I stream on Tuesday evenings and Sunday mornings, British summertime. And you can find me on Twitter. I mostly retweet people with cooler and more eloquent opinions than me. But you can still follow me. Sometimes I post stuff about the channel and things like that. Anyway, I hope you have a super great week. And if you're relaxing or working or studying, I hope you have the best time and get the most done possible. For now though, I will see you next time. Bye friends!